The Architect of Destiny, a manifesto for radical self-transformation. Introduction, the awakening of the will. The world does not owe you a version of yourself that you haven't fought for. Most people live their lives in a state of sleepwalking. They follow scripts written by their parents, their peers, and a society that profits from their insecurities. To develop yourself is to commit an act of rebellion. It is the refusal to be a finished product. Chapter 1. The Fallacy of Motivation. Waiting for motivation is the graveyard of dreams. Motivation is a fair-weather friend. It shows up when the sun is shining and the coffee is hot. Discipline, however, is the partner that stays when the lights go out. As the ancients said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. If you want to transform, you must stop asking how you feel and start asking what needs to be done. Your feelings are often liars designed to keep you safe, warm, and stagnant. Growth happens in the cold, in the uncomfortable, and in the not yet ready. Chapter 2. Radical Responsibility. The moment you blame your boss, your economy, your past, or your luck for your current position, you hand over your power. If they are the cause of your failure, then they are the only ones who can grant you success. Take the power back. Even if a situation is not your fault, it is still your responsibility. You are the architect. If the foundation is cracked, do not complain about the rain. Fix the concrete. Chapter 3. Mastering the Mindset. In life, your mindset is the ultimate variable. If your mindset is zero, the entire equation of your life collapses to zero. You must cultivate a growth mindset. View every failure not as a permanent mark, but a vital lesson. A mistake is only waste if you do not extract the data from it. We also live in an attention economy. Every app on your phone is designed to steal your focus. Self-development in the modern age is primarily a war against cheap dopamine. Focus on deep work. Focus on the 1% rule. You do not need to be 100% better today. You just need to be 1% better than the person you were yesterday. Chapter 4. The Social Fortress. Self-development is often portrayed as a lonely mountain climb, but the truth is more complex. You are the average of the people you spend the most time with. If you are the smartest and most ambitious person in the room, you are in the wrong room. Energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who complain and mock ambition, their gravity will pull you down. Seek out mentors who are 10 years ahead of where you want to be. Value their time more than your own. Chapter 5. Emotional Stoicism. The world is chaotic. Markets crash, people leave, and plans fail. If your happiness is tied to external circumstances, you are a slave to the wind. You must build an internal citadel. Stop bleeding energy into things you cannot change. You cannot control the weather, the economy, or other people's opinions. You can control your effort, your reactions, and your integrity. When a problem arises, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, give it 0 seconds of your anxiety. Conclusion. The fire and the wind. There will be days when you feel like a fraud. This is the dip. The difference between the elite and the average is what they do during this time. The average person quits and looks for a new hobby. The elite leans in, grinds their teeth, and pushes through the boredom and the pain. You are capable of more than you can currently imagine. Your brain can change, your habits can change, and your life will change if you refuse to let the fire go out. Since we are aiming for massive scale, let's dive into the next intensive chapters. I have structured this specifically for text-to-speech with rhythmic pacing, clear pauses, and high-energy vocabulary to keep the listener engaged. Phase 8. The Biology of Brilliance. Biohacking for High Performance. The Machine and the Mind. Your brain is not an abstract entity. It is a biological supercomputer. If you do not maintain the hardware, the software will crash. Self-development is not just about thinking positive. It is about optimizing your cellular energy. The power of circadian rhythms. Everything in nature has a pulse. You are no different. Most people are fighting their own biology. They stay up late under artificial blue light and wonder why they feel like a fog has settled over their ambition. To win the day, you must win the night. Master your sleep. Darken your room. Cool the temperature. When you sleep, your brain flushes out metabolic waste. If you skip sleep, you are literally operating with a dirty brain. The ritual of deep focus. Modern life is a constant assault on your prefrontal cortex. To perform at an elite level, you must master the flow state. This is the zone where time disappears and your productivity triples. To enter flow, you must eliminate the switching cost. Every time you check a notification, it takes your brain an average of 23 minutes to return to full focus. You are not multitasking, you are task switching, and it is making you slow. Turn off the world, enter the tunnel, do the work. Phase 9. Wealth Architecture, the Producer's Path. The Illusion of the Salary. A salary is the bribe they give you to forget your dreams. While there is no shame in a job, there is a danger in total dependency. True self-development includes financial sovereignty. To build wealth, you must shift your identity from a consumer to a producer. Most people spend their weekends consuming what others have built. The elite spend their weekends building what others will consume.
the law of reciprocity and value. The world does not pay you for your time. The world pays you for the value you bring to the marketplace. An hour of a heart surgeon's time is worth more than an hour of a dishwasher's time because the surgeon's skill is rare and high stakes. If you want more money, do not ask for a raise. Ask yourself, how can I become more valuable? Become a linchpin. Become the person who is so skilled, so reliable, and so innovative that the organization would tremble if you left. The compound effect of capital. Money is a soldier. Your goal is to send your soldiers out into the world to capture more soldiers. Stop spending your seed corn. Invest in assets that appreciate while you sleep. Wealth is not about having a fast car. Wealth is about having the freedom to say no to anyone and anything that compromises your integrity. Phase 10, the legacy mindset, contribution and spirit, the ego versus the soul. Self-development can easily become a trap of narcissism. If you only grow for yourself, you will eventually hit a ceiling of boredom. True power comes when your growth serves a purpose larger than your own comfort. The responsibility of the strong. As you become stronger, faster, and wealthier, your responsibility increases. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. In fact, the room only gets brighter. Mentor those behind you. Build systems that help your community. Leave a dent in the universe. Success is what you do for yourself. Legacy is what you do for others. The final commandment. Execute. Knowledge without action is merely a hallucination. You can listen to these words 1,000 times. You can read every book in the library, but if you do not move, nothing changes. The bridge between the life you have and the life you want is called action. It is built with the bricks of discipline and the mortar of persistence. Conclusion of this segment. Take a breath. Look at your hands. These are the tools of a creator. Now go out and create a reality that matches your vision. Phase 11, the psychology of influence and persuasion, the invisible language of power. You do not live in a vacuum. To achieve your goals, you must move people. You must persuade others to believe in your vision, buy your products, or join your cause. Understanding human psychology is not about manipulation. It is about alignment. The law of authority. Human beings are hardwired to follow those who project competence and confidence. If you want to be a leader, you must look like a leader, speak like a leader, and act like a leader before you ever hold the title. True authority comes from congruence. When your words, your body language, and your actions all point in the same direction, people will naturally gravitate towards your orbit. If you are fragmented, people will sense the weakness. The power of framing. In every interaction, there is a frame. The person who controls the frame controls the outcome. Do not enter a room asking for permission. Enter a room offering a solution. Change your language from I need to we can. Instead of asking for a job, offer a partnership. By changing the frame, you change the power dynamic. You move from a position of a beggar to a position of a benefactor. Phase 13, the strategic mind, mastering complexity, the art of long-term thinking. Most people are trapped in the now. They react to the latest notification, the latest crisis, and the latest trend. To develop yourself, you must become a grand strategist. Think in decades, but act in minutes. While the world is chasing the next big thing, you should be building the forever thing. Consistency is the most underrated skill in the world. Anyone can be a hero for a day. Very few can be disciplined for a decade. The concept of asymmetric risk. To grow rapidly, you must look for asymmetric opportunities. These are situations where the downside is small and controlled, but the upside is infinite. Writing a book is asymmetric. It takes time, but it could reach millions. Starting a side business is asymmetric. You might lose a few $1,000s, but you could gain financial freedom. Learning a new high-value skill is asymmetric. Stop playing even games. Start playing games where one win can change your entire life. Phase 14, the resilience protocol, surviving the storms. The myth of the straight line. Success is never a straight line. It is a jagged, messy, and often painful spiral. There will be periods of plateau where you work hard but see no results. This is where most people quit. You must understand the law of latent potential. Think of a bamboo tree. It grows underground for 5 years, building a massive root system, and then it shoots up 80 feet in 6 weeks. You are currently building your roots. Do not mistake a lack of visible progress for a lack of growth. Building mental calluses. The modern world is designed for comfort, but comfort is a slow poison. To build a resilient mind, you must seek out voluntary hardship. Take the cold shower. Do the extra set at the gym. Say the hard thing when you want to stay silent. By doing the hard things by choice, you prepare yourself for when the hard things come by chance. Phase 14, time mastery, the only finite resource. The fallacy of busy. Busy is often a form of laziness, lazy thinking and indiscriminate action. There is a profound difference between activity and achievement. Apply the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your activities. Your task is to ruthlessly identify that 20% and ignore everything else. Stop polishing the small things while the big things are on fire. The morning command center. How you spend the first 60 minutes of your day dictates the trajectory of the next 15 hours. If you start your day by reacting to other people's emails and social media posts, you have already lost. Claim your morning. Use it for deep thought, intense movement, and strategic planning. Own the sunrise and you will own the day. Phase 15, negotiation secrets, the art of getting what you want. The world is a negotiation. From the moment you wake up until the moment you sleep, you are negotiating. You negotiate with your spouse about dinner, with your boss about a deadline, and most importantly, you negotiate with yourself about your habits. To develop yourself is to become a master of the win-win outcome. Negotiation is not a battle, it is a discovery process. Your goal is to find out what the other person truly values and see if it aligns with your own trajectory. The power of tactical empathy. Most people listen only to respond. They are busy preparing their next sentence while the other person is still speaking. This is a mistake. To influence someone, you must first make them feel understood. Use labeling and mirroring. When someone expresses a concern, do not argue. Say, "It sounds like you are worried about the risk." This bypasses their defensive lizard brain and opens the door to their logical mind. When people feel heard, they stop fighting and start collaborating. The power of the no. Never be afraid of the word no. In fact, no is where the real negotiation